The latest usage for Liv Morgan has everyone's head spinning, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also get into what's new for Brock Lesnar, Becky Lynch, and more. Starting things off for Liv Morgan and the big unexpected route that they just took with their usage. The main fan criticism over the first month of Liv Morgan's world title reign has been the complete absence of any challengers or title defenses at all. Liv has just been running around and causing outside interference for Raquel and Roxanne's tag team matches over the last month. And that's all Liv has been doing as world champion. And fans are starting to quickly notice that Liv's first month of her title reign has included absolutely nothing of substance. This has been happening a lot with recent title reigns. It feels like they just put a title on someone and then kind of have nothing planned for that new champion. And the champion ends up getting flack for never defending their title, even though it's not their fault and they don't book the show. Someone who recently got a lot of flack for an exact situation like this was Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill was champion from November to April with only 2 title defenses in her entire reign. The second one being where she lost the title to Rhea, so only 1 successful title defense for Jade in that entire title reign. And now we unfortunately see Liv Morgan following that same trend of being a champion that never defends the title and doesn't have anyone even lined up to contend for the title. It's been a rumor for weeks now that they're stalling for Stephanie to come back from an injury and for her to return in order to continue that feud with Liv. And it seems like that's what's going on for Liv Morgan. But WWE just announced something that literally no one saw coming, because it doesn't make much of any logical sense. WWE recently revealed the King and Queen of the Ring tournament brackets. And to everyone's surprise, current women's world champion Liv Morgan was part of the Queen of the Ring tournament. The reason why this doesn't make any logical sense is because the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments is supposed to be designed for top challengers to win the tournament, make a name for themselves, and then compete for a world title at SummerSlam. Everyone in the tournament is supposed to be a challenger that's trying to win in order to face their brand's world champion. So why is the women's world champion in a tournament designed to earn championship opportunity? It doesn't really make any sense, and you can't really try to find any logic in that decision because it will give you a headache. Liv Morgan appeared on the Clash in Italy post-show to attempt to make more sense of her being in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Liv said that since everyone is saying that she never defends her title and how everyone is too scared to step up to her on Raw, she decided that she wants to take it all, and now she wants to be a double world champion, with her crosshairs now being on the WWE Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. Funny enough, this is a match WWE just teased during the Raw after WrestleMania back in April, where Rhea and Liv said goodbye to each other when Rhea was moving to SmackDown. So was that Raw after WrestleMania moment a teaser for this potential winner-takes-all double women's world champion match? Although Liv is in the tournament with the idea of her unifying the titles if she wins the entire tournament and defeats Rhea Ripley, it doesn't seem like any real chance at all of them unifying the women's world titles anytime soon. Raw needs their own women's champion, and SmackDown needs their own women's champion. So it seems extremely unlikely to unify those titles and only have one women's world champion. There's no shot of that happening anytime soon. Basic logic tells us that the idea of Liv winning both world titles is not happening at all. So, since Liv has no shot at winning the Queen of the Ring tournament, it seems more likely that her inclusion in this tournament could be used more like an angle to start something else up for her. Maybe it's the return of Stephanie to screw Liv Morgan out of the Queen of the Ring tournament and crush Liv's dream of being a double world champion. Something like that would really reignite the Liv and Stephanie feud in a big way. Or maybe Liv's loss in the tournament could be Judgment Day related. We've been seeing the Judgment Day struggle lately with all of their cheating tactics. So if another cheating tactic goes wrong here and Liv loses the match because of that, that could intensify all of the internal conflict going on right now within the Judgment Day. So although Liv has no shot of winning the tournament, fans still find it pretty unbelievable that a spot in this tournament was wasted on someone that already has a world championship. Just insane to really think about. But we'll see what feud and program Liv Morgan finds herself in coming out of this loss of the Queen of the Ring tournament. A lot of fans predicted the direction that Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi's feud was headed in, and turns out the fans were fully right. Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi met for the second time at Clash in Italy in a match that saw Brock Lesnar hit a total of 7 F5s to defeat Oba Femi and hand Oba his first pinfall loss on the main roster. This now brings the series to 1 win apiece for Oba and Brock, which pretty much guarantees that we will see a third meeting between the two of them to determine the real winner of this entire feud. Fans expect that third and final meeting to be at SummerSlam, and common sense tells us that Oba Femi would win that third matchup and win the series. And then we'll have to see what they plan on doing with Oba Femi from there, because fans are a bit fearful that they may have no clear idea of what to do with Oba Femi. So hopefully they prove everyone wrong and have a clear direction in mind for Oba following the conclusion of the feud with Brock Lesnar. So expect that feud to last for a few more months here before finally wrapping up for good. Becky Lynch vs. Sol Ruca took place in Clash of Italy for the Women's Intercontinental title, and that was also a match that had a lot of buzz around it heading into the match. There were rumors that Sol Ruca was hurt and wasn't medically cleared to compete. A lot of fans questioned the logic of Sol Ruca getting a title match without scoring a single pinfall victory since getting called up. There's even some buzz around Sol Ruca's Soul Snatcher finisher as well. But despite all those things surrounding the match, everything turned out pretty smooth and saw Sol Ruca defeat Becky to become the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. Another big side story in this match was once again the drama between Becky Lynch and referee Jessika Carr. Jessika Carr has been the referee for what feels like 95% of Becky's matches over the last calendar year. And in every single one of those matches, there's always some type of drama and high tension between Becky and Jessika. Originally, we thought the payoff would happen at WrestleMania 42 for the Jessika and Becky story, where maybe we see a big moment of Jessika shoving Becky at WrestleMania or getting physical in some way with her. That did not happen, yet this apparent side story is continuing with Becky and Jessika. Jessika has now served as the referee during all 3 of Becky's matches where she dropped the Intercontinental title. When Becky lost the title to AJ Lee, Maxine, and now Sol Ruca, Jessika was the referee in every single one of those matches. Despite them continuing the Becky and Jessika story, it doesn't seem like this story will ever feature an actual payoff. We're really starting to lose hope on seeing a real payoff since this has been dragged out so much. So it seems like there may be nothing more to this story besides the fact that Jessika is always the referee for Becky's matches and she's always going to get into arguments with Becky. Doesn't really seem like they have anything else planned besides that. We're just going to keep seeing Becky and Jessika interact a lot in these big matches, but it doesn't really seem like this is leading anywhere. We hope that's wrong and that there's some huge Becky and Jessika match coming down the line, but that doesn't really seem to be the case. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.